net.
Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KDA-VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2422 with the release date of Friday, March 29, 2024 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. Illegal sales of radio jamming equipment found in the U.S. An Australian amateur is honored for discovering new comets, and our April Fool's correspondent Pierre Pulamaleg is back with a special report on antennas you can grow. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2422 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
Our top story comes from a U.S. broadcast network which reported recently about illegal sales of radio jammers in the U.S. Kent Peterson, KC0DGY, brings us up to date.
In the U.S., the Federal Communications Commission has revealed that the agency has been investigating a number of online retailers and other sellers over possible marketing of wireless radio frequency jammers, which are illegal under federal law. The disclosure by the FCC's Will Wyquist came following a report by NBC News that wireless jammers that were being offered for sale were being marketed as devices to interfere with the operation of drones. Federal law both prohibits the sale and use of devices that deliberately interfere with signals of GPS units, mobile phones, and other consumer devices. Such jamming devices have the potential to interfere as well with security cameras, Wi-Fi, and emergency communications. The FCC posts an explanation of its policy on its website saying, quote, unlike other radio transmitting equipment, jamming equipment cannot be authorized by the FCC because the main purpose of jamming equipment is to interfere with radio communications, end quote. The FCC made its revelation about conducting probes only after the news network released its own report about the sales of the jammers by more than a dozen companies. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
The Parks on the Air program had a welcome announcement recently for fans of portable operation. Jim Meachin, ZL2VHF, shares this development.
There's good news for POTA hunters, as POTA completes its conversion of labels to conform to the ISO-3166-2 standard. China has returned to participating in Parks on the Air. China's re-entry follows a number of discussions to resolve what POTA described as simple language barriers. According to documentation on the POTA website, the misunderstanding over POTA's reorganization of its code system resulted in an unfortunate breakdown in communications because of these language issues. On Monday, March 25th, POTA announced on its website, quote, "We are happy to be able to reactivate China so quickly," end quote. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
An amateur who was respected for technical expertise and a wide range of HF transceivers and amplifiers and was honored at Hamvention 2 years ago has become a silent key. We hear about him from Jack Parker, W8ISH.
Hams everywhere sought out the wisdom and expertise of Adam Farson, VA7OJ/AB7OJ, whether they needed guidance on buying a particular HF radio or an amplifier. Adam's website and his array of published articles in different journals contain years of his wisdom and hard work. Adam died on the morning of March 12th. A friend, Matt Erickson, KK5DR, wrote in a QRZ.com forum that Adam had been in failing health since the 1st of January, complicated by a relapse of pneumonia. Much of Adam's technical expertise is shared on his website, which he created more than 3 decades ago. Matt said the site would continue to be maintained online for a time by the North Shore Amateur Radio Club, where Adam was a longtime member. The retired telecom engineer was a senior life member of the IEEE and was first licensed in 1962 with the call sign ZS1ZG while studying at the University of Cape Town. In 2022, Adam received the Technical Achievement Award at Hamvention and was celebrated for his published work and for providing one of the Internet resource amateurs turn to most for high technical details about a variety of radios. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
NASA's Sungrazers program is honoring an amateur radio operator in Australia for having tracked down previously unknown comets by studying spacecraft imagery. We hear about him from John Williams, VK4JJW.
Congratulations to Peter Barrett, VK3PB, who's been recognized by the NASA Sungrazer program as one of the top successful volunteer comet hunters. Sungrazer is a NASA-funded citizen science program that encourages anyone to participate in the discovery and reporting of previously unknown comets. According to Sungrazer, Peter was the first to locate a comet in imagery from the Parker Solar Probe launched by NASA in 2018. Using a computer program he wrote for this purpose, he's also identified comets in archived images that were collected by 4 spacecraft. NASA Sun and Space made the announcement about Peter earlier this month on social media. Viewers of Amateur Logic TV may be most familiar with Peter through his previous appearances there. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
In western Pennsylvania, a team of Skywarn operators has been testing the resilience of simplex operations to prepare for emergencies. Randy Sly, W4XJ, spoke to one of the organizers.
What would you do if you wanted to check into the local Skywarn net with a severe storm report and the repeaters in your area suddenly went down? The obvious answer is working simplex. But how and where? The Southwest District Skywarn team of Western Pennsylvania has started working on a more strategic answer by conducting a monthly series of simplex drills to coordinate frequencies and best operating practices in case of a scenario like this. Eddie Mishevitz, KB3YRU, president of the group, told AR Newsline, quote, "We are working on and improving a communications plan one step at a time. In addition to improving radios, mast height, and antennas, we have also learned to assign portable and mobile stations to strategic locations and positions," end quote. He said the hilly terrain and ridges in the area are presenting some significant challenges for an effective solution to ensure better simplex coverage. The Southwest District Skywarn team is also spreading the word at hamfests and other events about using simplex in emergency situations. They are inviting their fellow amateurs to prepare ahead of time for severe weather events while developing the right equipment and skills for successful simplex operations, whether HF, VHF, or UHF. The next drill is scheduled to be held Saturday, April 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
Island on the Air has expanded a program that will help fund activations of more rare locations. Jeremy Booth, G4NJH, tells us what this means.
The Islands on the Anti-Expedition Fund, created last year to support activations in rare locations with no activity for at least 15 years, has expanded its qualifications to include additional islands and island groups. The fund's original announcement last September said it would provide grants to assist operations from IOTA references confirmed by fewer than 1/4 of IOTA members in the last decade. This has now been broadened to include operations to those locations confirmed by fewer than 30% of IOTA members on IOTA's most wanted list. Both categories must have had no activations for at least 15 years. IOTA Limited believes that having two categories will provide an advantage for the expeditions to an estimated 250 IOTA groups. Applicants should note the rarity of the IOTA reference they plan to activate, how long they will be there, how many operators they will have, the estimated number of contacts they expect to log, the bands to be used, and of course the estimated cost of the expedition. For an application and more details, visit the IOTA website using the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the Utah Amateur Radio Club's W7SP repeater on Sundays as part of the club's 9 p.m. net. To make its online registration system more secure, the Federal Communications Commission is introducing two-factor authentication while signing on. As of the 29th of March, those wishing to access the Commission's registration system, known as CORS, will need to request a 6-digit secondary verification code to be sent to their email address. They will be required to enter the code into the system before they can go forward with logging in. This requirement will affect anyone looking to reset a password, request a new federal registration number, or to pay any application or regulatory fees. The Emmy Awards, best known for their celebrity recipients, has a new well-known recipient among the ranks, the U.S. Federal Communications Commission. That report comes to us from George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
In the U.S., the Emmy Awards, bestowed by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, are best known for acknowledging stellar achievements in the television industry. This year, however, a somewhat unconventional award recipient stood out amongst the more typical award winners in entertainment and sports programming. The Federal Communications Commission, the U.S. government regulatory agency, was the recipient of a Technology and Engineering Emmy Award for having held a broadcast auction. The auction, which took place over several years, opened the door for TV stations to receive incentive payments in exchange for their return of underutilized parts of the broadcast spectrum. The funds the stations received enabled them to reinvest in their own operations, while the newly available spectrum was auctioned off to wireless broadband carriers to use for 5G and other services. The auction brought in a gross total of $19.8 billion in U.S. currency. 50 broadcasters received over $10 billion in payments. Another $7.3 billion went to the U.S. Treasury to help reduce the federal deficit. This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Do you know a promising young radio amateur who'd be a good candidate for the Bill Pasternak Memorial Young Ham of the Year Award? Let Newsline know. Candidates must live in the continental United States and be 18 years of age or younger. Tell our judges about your nominee's talent, promise, and commitment to the spirit of ham radio. This is your chance to honor and acknowledge that person who will, no doubt, go on to teach and inspire others. Find the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. Nominations close on May 31st. Just 2 weeks ahead of its solar eclipse Q-Show party, members of HAM, SCI, the Ham Radio Citizen Science Investigation Organization, met with STEM educators, researchers, and ham radio operators for its 7th annual workshop. It was hosted on March 22nd and 23rd on the campus of Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and online. Workshop topics range from a review of ionospheric data collected during last year's annular solar eclipse to various aspects of space weather. A major topic of the weekend was alignments between the sun, moon, and Earth in preparation for the April 8th total eclipse of the sun over North America. What are you doing on April 18th? There is something to celebrate as Graham Kemp, VK4BB tells us.
25 countries formed the International Amateur Radio Union in Paris in 1925. There are now 3 regions across the world and 160 member societies. World Amateur Radio Day is being marked April 18, and this year's celebration has been given a theme in anticipation of the IRU reaching its centenary next year. Organisers are calling it A Century of Connections, celebrating 100 years of amateur radio innovation, community and advocacy. The name acknowledges that ham radio became popular even before the IARU was created as an advocate for ham's roles in global communication and to defend amateur frequency allocations. On April 18, be listening for amateurs across Canada operating official stations ending in the suffix RAC for Radio Amateurs of Canada. A more expanded on-air celebration is planned in Greece, where the Radio Amateur Association of Greece will be using call sign Sierra Zulu 0 WARD to mark the occasion from April 15 to the 30th. Be listening around for other organisations in other nations and regions as they join the global celebration. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
In the world of DX, be listening for ER30ARM, a special call sign marking the 30th anniversary of the Amateur Radio Society of Moldova. ER1KAA operators will be on the air till the 30th of April. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Felipe CE3SX is active at CB0ZIX from the Juan Fernandez Islands until the 4th of April. You can hear him on 6 meters SSB and FT8 in Foxhound mode. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Pete G0TLE is using the call sign V4/G0TLE from St. Kitts, Iota, number NA104 until the 5th of April, operating CW and SSB on 40 to 10 meters. QSL details can be found on QRZ.com. Listen for Torsten, DL9GG, active as VD7GG from St. Helena Island, Iota number AF022 until the 30th of March. Torsten is using CW and some SSB on 160 to 10 meters, QSL via home call or EQSL. We end this week's newscast with a special report from our April Fool's Day correspondent, Pierre Poulibalet. Pierre has spent the last several decades as an investigative reporter for Newsline, and he has a groundbreaking report that will change the lives of hams living in communities that impose antenna restrictions. This report is a Newsline exclusive. Pierre?
Chérie, we must rejoice. After years of research and experimentation, the famous French scientist Jacques-N. de Benstock has created not just ham radio's best engineered antennas, but ham radio's first genetically engineered antennas. These are antennas you can grow from seed. You can now plant Yagis, hex beams, quads, and long wires, and as they spring up from the earth, these will all look like the green beans, the sunflowers, the big boy tomatoes. The Homeowner Association president, she will never know you're growing a true antenna farm. These Brussels sprouts can get you DX in Brussels. These tall French green beans will get you a contact with moi, Pierre Poulibalet, living just outside of Marseille, where I am growing my own crop of tender and fed half-waved apples. And after trimming your antenna, you still cannot get a good SWR. Simply keep trimming and turn your antenna into a salad. Ooh la la. Now, Pierre is so very hungry. Au revoir, mes amis. I must go fricasser my chapeau. This is Pierre Poulibalet.
Don't forget the Amateur Radio Newsline Haiku Challenge. If you're not too busy tuning your antennas or chasing the latest de-expedition, pick up a pencil and share your experience by sending an original haiku to us here at Newsline. Use the entry form on our website, arnewsline.org, and please follow the rules for writing your 3-line haiku. Sorry, but we cannot accept any entries that aren't written in traditional haiku form. Share with fellow listeners the poetry that is inspired by your ham radio experience. With thanks to Amateur Radio Daily, ARRL, CQ Magazine, CNN, David Behar, K7DB, DX News, DX World, Ed Wilson, N2XDD, FCC, 425DX News, NBC, Ham, SCI, Islands on the Air, Parks on the Air, QRZ.com, shortwaveradio.de, Stargazers Project, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen E. Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2024, all rights reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is WO3X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open-directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with those 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until we're done. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I will close the net after repeating the announcements, but I'll give one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. This evening, that net will be on 6 meters on or about 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, here are the announcements. Let's see, on April 10th is our business meeting, and we need a quorum in order to approve the changes to our Constitution and bylaws. You can attend in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls. Address is 130 Broad Boulevard, but you enter the building from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard. To vote for the changes, you can also be attending on Zoom, and both on Zoom and in person starts at 7:30 p.m. That's Wednesday, April 10th. Then that following Friday, April 12th, we will be setting up tables at the Medio Party Center and then assisting vendors to guide them to their table. The advantage of being there for that action is that if you see something that a vendor is going to put up for sale, you can make him an offer and maybe get something that you needed. The gathering for the setting up of the tables will be about 6:30 Friday evening.
also need somebody to help with setting up the road direction signs Friday evening. So if you can help with that, mention that on the sign up, the volunteer sign up page, which you get to by going to www.cfarc.org. Click on the word Hamfest up the top, and then a volunteer sign up sheet opens up, and you can, after you fill in your information, your contact information, then you can put what you are available to do. And then Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, starts the activity for the Hamfest, starting around 6 a.m. And so the vendors start to come in, and they need guided to their tables. And then at 8 a.m. the doors open, and we start selling tickets. So we need to have some people at the other doors to make sure that somebody is not coming in without a ticket. Then on April 24th is our activity meeting. I'm not sure what the activity is, but it's always something fun and informative. So that also is on Zoom and in person, 7:30 p.m. And so attend that to maybe have some fun and to learn something. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. Are there any officers or members who have information for the net?
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
AC8XO, Vince, go ahead.
The date has passed, but since we had a late publication in March, I'm giving an extra couple of days. If anyone wants to contribute to the newsletter, now's the time. The door closes very soon. Other than that, John, got nothing. Check me in. AC8XO, back to net.
Okay, Vince, thanks for that news, and I have you checked in. Are there any other officers or members who have information for the net? Okay, not hearing any. This is John, W03X at the mic, asking for check-ins for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor VHF UHF net.
WA3JAT in and out.
We have WA3JAT in and out. Another check-in, please.
Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango.
Whiskey 8 Echo Zulu Tango. You know what, it seems like it's going to be a slow evening, so I'll just take them one at a time now.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Papa X-Ray in and out.
Let's see, was that Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Papa X-Ray in and out? comments.
Okay, Vince, if you're still listening, I'll try to come up with something here. Been sidetracked with some other issues, club-wise, the upcoming Hamfest, and real estate tax appeal, so I have not been able to put my full effort on the club newsletter, but I'll try to come up with something there. John, you did a good job. Again, anybody listening, the business meeting coming up April 8th is a huge one. We'll be talking about a change to the motion for our repeater antenna. We'll be talking about the Hamfest coming up and a presentation there. So if you're volunteering for the Hamfest, we need you there. And of course, we will be voting on the changes to the club bylaws and constitution. They were published in the last month's newsletter. Please review them and come ready to vote. You can vote either via Zoom if you don't want to attend online. In person or in person. But we need you to support us in that respect with your vote. All right, that's all I've got, John. Back to you. We'll catch you on 6 meters tonight. W8ECT.
Okay, Frank, and that meeting is April 10th, people. So April 10th, Wednesday, April 10th. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
K8HMS.
K8HMS, I have you. We'll see if there's any others. More check-ins, please.
Kilo 8 to the other.
Okay, there was a pile up there. Was that Kilo 8, the K8PU? Okay, well, let's try that again. Check-ins, please.
In and out.
Okay, I doubled with you. Who was the in and out? Somebody said in and out.
X.
Okay, I have you in and out. And then there was somebody, Kilo 8 something. Go ahead with your call sign.
Kilo 8 to the other.
AX.
Okay, so that was, I got you, Larry, and KD8YAX, in and out. KD8YAX, in and out, thanks. Another check-in, please.
KE8TQR, Keith in Uniontown.
Okay, Mike, I have you in and out. That's CXO. And Keith, KE8TQR, I have you in, and we'll get back with you in a moment. Let's see, how many do we have here? I'll take a couple more.
Alpha 8 Radio, Charlie, November.
Radio Charlie November, I have you, and one more.
KE8ULA.
KE8ULA. Okay, we'll get back with you in a moment, Leo. Okay, so let's see. Let's go up to Steve, K8HMS. Go ahead, Steve, with your comments.
W8VPV in the net, KHMS here on the 440 side. Yeah, just say good evening to everybody. Thanks for running the net, John. And yeah, not much going on. Enjoying the kind of balmy weather, and I guess got some rain tomorrow, but better than snow. So other than that, not much happening. We'll look for you on 6 meters. Back to net, KHMS.
Okay, Steve, sounds good. Yeah, try to keep dry there. Okay, Let's see, next is Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor.
Good evening, John. Everybody on the net. Yeah, Steve's right. I guess we're going to get a little rough weather tomorrow, but hey, it's not snow, so we'll take it. Nothing new and exciting here. I guess I'll catch you on 6 meters. 6 meters this evening. Yeah, that's easy. Catch you on 6 meters this evening, John. And like Steve said, thanks for running the net. You certainly do your share with that. So back to your W8VPV, Kilo 8 Papa uniform.
Yeah, okay, Larry. I run both nets on the first Monday and the second Mondays of the month. So that's the story on my doing the nets. Okay, I'll listen for you on 6 meters. Okay, let's see. So Mike was in and out. So that takes us to Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments.
Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor. This is KE8TQR. Good evening, John. Yeah, I had to remember. I was on a couple other nets, so putting all these names together. And I try not to call anybody by the wrong name, but occasionally I stumble. Anyway, good evening. Thanks for taking my check-in, and good evening to everyone else here on the net tonight. We got some weather rolling in. I know I've got my lightning map up here on the screen at my computer, and they are getting closer, so it won't be long before I'll be undoing everything and turning everything off. So anyway, had a good weekend. Was a wonderful Easter. Just the wife, my son, and myself. The wife made a really good dinner Sunday, which I put a dent in the leftovers this evening, and I'm thinking about going upstairs for a piece of pie, but maybe not. Anyway, I've been working on some coax cable, had to put some connectors on, and I do have to say that my soldering skills do seem to be improving, which is always good. Everything works, but yeah, when we get some warmer weather, I will be back out there in the backyard, putting up the rest of the tower along with the 30 feet that's already there, putting up some more antennas, and I'll be doing some more work on that this year, and hopefully the tower project and antennas will all be up there before the cold winds start blowing again. So with that, I want to thank you, John, for running the net tonight. Fine job, and just wish everyone a great evening, great rest of the week, and everyone just be safe out there on them highways and byways. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless. And I'll be over on 6 meters as well. KE8TQR.
Okay, Keith, very good. Sounds like you had a good dinner there, and also you had some good leftovers there. That sounds good. So I'll be listening for you on 6 meters. Okay, so that takes us to Jim, WA8RCN. Go ahead, Jim, with your comments. This is John, WO3X, at the mic for Whiskey 8 Victor, Papa Victor.
John, W8VPV, and the group W8RCN. Sounding good. Everybody's sounding good here, and say hi to everybody. And just thought we'd check in, give you another beam for the pot. Just did a little contesting this weekend in the CQ Worldwide WPX contest. That was kind of fun because everybody can work everybody. But also frustrating at times where, you know, a lot of the Europeans are working Europeans and they couldn't hear you. So but then you wait for the second day, you know, then you can work everybody pretty much. And had a good Easter. It was fun. Had a family over, and wife and I made dinner and did the cooking and stuff. So it was good. So that's about it here. W8VPV, W8RCN.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Jim. Yeah, I also participated in that WPX contest, and toward the end, I made a couple of contacts that they said that we had already made a contact, so I looked at my log, and I listened to their call sign, and here I had a character wrong in both of their call signs. So that worked out good because I was able to correct that. So thanks for checking in, and you're going to be on 6 meters?
Scrambling for the mic here. Yeah, I think I may make that here tonight. I'm going to sit down here till then and just listen, and well, we should be there.
Okay, Jim, I'll listen for you. Okay, that takes us to Leo, K-E-A-U-L-A. Go ahead, Leo, with your comments.
Good evening, John, everybody on the net. Just getting the TurboTax installed on my PC here today. I got to get those taxes done. I always procrastinate on this taxes thing because, I like to hold on to that money as long as I can. The wife's getting ready. She's going to have that knee replacement surgery done next week on the 10th. So we're getting ready for that. I'm going to take some time off work there and just take care of her until she gets back up on her feet. We have a solar eclipse coming up. Just wanted to remind everybody, if you're going to be looking at that solar eclipse, make sure you get those ISO approved certified viewing glasses. That's all I got. With W8VPV, K-E-8-U-L-A. Back to the net.
Okay, Leo. On those taxes, my wife and I, we get a refund. So let's see. I tend to put that off also, but I managed to do it. Let's see, when was it? Like the week before last, and so I do it on paper on the forms, and then I do it with one of their partners or whatever you call them. And it takes a little longer on the using the online thing because they go through every schedule and all that, But for us, it's all zeros for the other schedules. But then I was surprised. We got our refund. It was only about a week and a half. And it showed up. So the online thing works really good. Okay, so thanks for checking in, and let's see if we have any more comments. This is John, W03X, at the mic for Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor VHF UHF Net, asking for check-ins.
Please copy. Kilo, Echo, 8, Uniform, India Bravo, K8 UID, John in Maslin.
KEA UIB, John in Maslin. We'll get back with you in a moment, and I think there may have been somebody else in there. Go ahead. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
K8WTK. In and out tonight, John. Thanks.
KAWTK. Okay, Bill, I have you in and out. Any other check-ins?
Okay, I might have been doubling. Whiskey Delta 8, Mike Juliet Sierra.
W8VPV. Repeater.
WD8MJS, I have you. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee India Romeo, Mark up in Hudson. In and out tonight, John.
KE8YIR. Okay, Okay, Mark, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Another check-in, please.
KE8KVI, in and out.
KE8KVI, Ron, I have you in and out. Thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any. We'll go to John, KE8UIB. Go ahead, John, with your comments.
W8VPV from KE8UIB. Good evening, John. You're about on the net. Want to chime in here from Nashville and say hello to everybody tonight, and hope everybody had a good Easter, and hope everybody does good through the storm. With that, this is KE8UIB. I'm going to hand this back over to you, 7:30.
Okay, John, sounds good. Thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening, and I'll probably hear you tomorrow evening on the Silver Creek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday night 2-meter net. Okay, let's see. So KA8WTK Bill was in and out, so that takes us to Ken, WD8MJS. Go ahead, Ken, with your comments.
No, don't really have much in the way of comments. I haven't been doing much in the way of radio here for the last couple of months. I don't know. I get in and out. I think some of us do that sometimes. So, just glad to get back on for at least one check-in. So, 73 to the group, and back to you, W8VPV, WD8MJS.
Okay, Ken. Well, very good. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Hope to hear you some other time also. Okay, let's see. So, Mark, KE8YIR, and KE8KIR were in and out. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. This is John, WO3X at the mic, asking for check-ins for the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. VHF UHF net.
W3X, this is Kilo Delta 8 Sierra Lima Golf, KE8SLG, Nick in Orville, I'll be in and out.
KD8SLG, Nick in Orville, thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening. I have you in and out. Thanks. Are there any other check-ins? This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Okay, not hearing any at this time. I'll repeat the announcements. Okay, Vince AC8XO, the newsletter editor, has given an extension for submitting articles for the newsletter. So if you have something of interest, get it to him right away there. That goes to newsletter editor at cfarc.org. Newsletter editor is one word. And if you haven't ever submitted anything, before you do, go to the website and www.cfarc.org and look at the formatting and types of files to use for submitting a newsletter article. Okay, so April 10th is our business meeting, and we have a couple of items that we need to have a quorum. Now, you can be in person or on Zoom to vote. So the meeting starts at 7:30 p.m., and in person it is at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the door from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. And let's see, so the items to vote on are the Constitution and bylaws changes, and also we need to amend the motion for the repeater antenna. We had mentioned a specific antenna, but we want to change it to change the motion to a suitable antenna, which we will choose later. So please attend so that we can have a quorum, so that we can take care of those items. Again, that's April 10th. The meeting starts at 7:30 p.m., both in person and on Zoom. Let's see here. Then, we'll also be discussing the Hamfest. And don't forget to sign up to help as a volunteer. We need people both April 12th, that's Friday evening, but we're in pretty good shape for setting up the tables, but we need some light work also, like putting labels on the tables, and helping vendors get to their assigned table. We also need somebody to help with setting up the road direction signs, and so that we would be setting those up Friday evening also. Then early Saturday morning, starting at 6 a.m., so we need people from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. to help guide the vendors to their tables. Then starting at 8 a.m. is a surge. There's of selling tickets. So take a look on the website www.cfarc. There's the word Hamfest. Click on that, and there's a volunteer sign-up form there that you fill out, and then let us know what day and time you can help out. Then April 24th is our activity meeting. There's always something fun and informative at those activity meetings. So again, that starts at 7:30 p.m. and is both in person and on Zoom. And in person, again, is at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ, and get to the door from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. I think that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Name here's John.
November 8th, America, Charlie Papa. N8ACP, Chris, Cadillac Hill, Akron.
N8ACP, Chris, go ahead with your comments.
John, I was hoping to help you guys work that Hamfest, but I don't know, because I spent most of the weekend this weekend on the CQ Worldwide WPX single sideband contest, so next weekend might be getting my garden in order. But I made a decent effort. It wasn't great. Put up 262,170 points, 381 QSOs, 170 prefixes. That's my first time putting up 250,000 points in a CQ Worldwide contest, so should be good for about top 30 in the world in the wires overlay low power, just running 100 watts in a wire here. So not sure the country count, but it should be more than DXCC in a day. And I picked up Moldova and Thailand, so I was pretty happy with that. That's 169 countries. Not bad for 100 watts in a wire, the power of a light bulb. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
Oh, very good, Chris. Yeah, I worked that, but I only had like 46 contacts and maybe 42 different prefixes. I'm not sure what all countries. I know I did Italy and France and Chile, Brazil, Dominican Republic, something in Africa there I saw show up on the bottom. I use N1MM and it shows it has a little note there as to where it is. And let's see, France. What else? A bunch of them from Italy. That was they were really active. So, well, congratulations on that. That's quite a lot of points. I only have like it's less than 4,000 points. It's 3,000 something. So you did really good on that. So congratulations. Okay, let's see. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any more check-ins. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 19 check-ins counting myself and return a repeater to normal, customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net at 9:10 p.m. local time. And I'll be on 50.270 megahertz at 9:30 p.m. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor closing the net.
W03X, W8EZT.
W8EZT, go ahead, Frank.
Evening, John. Not to muddy the waters at all, but assuming the Constitution bylaws change this coming up at the business meeting, and I'm sorry I said the 8th, I meant the 10th. I've got eclipse on the brain, I guess. Once we pass those laws, those bylaws, there is no promise or commitment of any meetings in the future. We have to pick them and announce them, as I understand it. So the activity meeting at towards the end of April may or may not be there. That's not official. It's up to what the officers and trustees decide, but that's the way I'm reading those laws. The regular periodic meetings are gone.
Yeah, well, maybe maybe they'll stay, somewhat the same for a little while, but we'll see. They're on the calendar, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, and all we have to do is agree that we'll hold meetings then, and we'll do it. But it's one of the issues that this is a huge change in our structure. And again, it caught me blindsided, so I didn't really have anything to say during the meeting other than surprise. I would have done things very differently, but because it's so hard to get a quorum, I think we need to do this now. So I've sat here quietly with my mouth shut, but some rather dramatic changes need to be made once this bylaws and constitution change occur, in my opinion. But we'll talk about it at the officer trustee meeting. All right, that's all I got, John. We'll see you on 6 meters. W8VPV. Good job. Back to net.
Yeah, okay, Frank. I didn't mention any May meetings, so we'll probably still have the April 24th meeting. So, okay, very good, so I'll listen for you on 6 meters. So with that, this is W3X. I'll be clear.
W3X, November 8, Whiskey Bravo.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. Go ahead, Stefan.
Apologize. Was I interrupting a net? Or, I apologize if I was.
You mean just now? No, the net ended at 9:10.
Good. My net ended as well, so I was doing net control over at West Park. So I heard your voice running around, and I thought I'd say hi to you, see how you're doing, and then and give me a signal report if you could as well. On top of that.
Oh well, you're real good into the repeater. Total quieting.
I appreciate that. So, how are you guys doing with these? We actually have our test coming up this Saturday. That'll be our second one of the year for our club, for Sarah, and then we do 2 a year for Wayne County. We did the February one and the August one for them. We go down there and help them out with those two.
Oh, very good. Let's see. We had one early this month, and our next one is going to be at the Hamfest, our Hamfest on April 13th. We have a room in the back there. It's kind of like a what would you call it? There's seats like in the theater, and there's a pretty large area off to the right side there where we set up tables and give volunteer exams. So that'll be our next session. That'll be April 13th. Now those are going to be ARRL session, whereas at the Cuyahoga Falls Library we do Laurel sessions that there's no fee, but there's the FCC fee, but no fee for the exam. Over.
You're Roger. Yeah, I'm ARRL exam person, but I appreciate you telling me that. If you're ever in need of an examiner for the ARRL sessions, just let me know. I'd be glad to help out in a pinch or in a need that you guys might have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're certified for both. So, but Jim Grover, the guy that is the leader for the volunteer exam sessions, he likes to do the Laurel ones at the library, and then we're doing this ARRL session at the Hamfest So we don't do ARRL sessions very often. So, but all of us that are on the team are certified for both. So we're in pretty good shape for examiners. Over.
All right, Roger, Roger. I do appreciate that. All right, well, listen, my friend, I got to buzz around a little bit on the dial, and I also got to check out a piece of software and a piece of hardware that I'm working on. I appreciate you letting me know about the audio here, and I'll send it back to you, W8VPV from November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Whiskey Bravo, clear on your final.
Okay, Stefan. Well, good to hear from you. Thanks for making a contact here. And so I'll be running the Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor band exploration net, which this evening is on 6 meters on or about 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. So that starts at 9:30 p.m. So 73 let's see which W8NB. Is that your code, W8NB?
No, November 8 Whiskey Bravo, but I understand.
That's it, yeah. November 8 Whiskey Bravo. Okay, 73 there, Stefan. Have a good evening.
73, my friends. Have a great evening.
NHWB, this is CE, this LG.
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. November 8, Whiskey Bravo. This is WV3K.
So I'm going to send a message up by tomorrow sometime, so in case he's listening. And if not, I'll just send it out and he'll see the message. But I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you so much. Strange thing, man. You can hear me here on this device. Over on the 147360, settings are no different. It breaks the repeater and it does all that stuff, but nobody's...
November 8, Whiskey Bravo. WV3K.
Set up cable to my microphone port on the radio and then plug in my standard microphone and headset thing and run the net that way tonight. So here you can hear me. Over there I don't know what it is, so I might have to reach out to Microham, Microkeyer, because I've been trying to look it up while I'm running the net, but I don't see any reason that this should be different on different repeaters, but who knows.
Negative on the call. This is Whiskey Victor 3 Kilo, and I will be clear.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I heard you over on VPV as well. I tried to catch you when you were done talking to W8VPV, but man, you were not kidding about spinning the dials, were you?
No, not tonight. I've been doing a lot of digital, and that's one of the reasons that I got this unit, because this will do micro keying, CW. It'll do all the digital bands. It'll do voice, and it's a nice unit, and it's 24-bit audio, and that's one of the things that I really like about that. So very cool. All right. Well, if you hear from him again, just give me a text. Otherwise, I'm sending out that email probably tomorrow, anyways, to tell who won the session. And we got quite a few people. A guy called me up tonight, Fred, a guy by the name of Fred, and he said he's taking the tech test this Saturday. So we got quite a few people. Should be good, man. More people in the hobby or in the service, as I like to say. So, all right, my friend. I will talk to you soon. K88SLG from November 8 Whiskey Bravo.
NAWB, K88SLG. Have a great night there, Stefan. We'll talk to you down the log somewhere. K88SLG clear.
N8WB, this is W8UA Mobile.
W8UA Mobile, November 8 Whiskey Bravo.
Above.
Got me right before I started to spin the dial, but I'm not in a rush, really. I just was going to go look at something. But go ahead, my friend. Great to hear you.
Yeah, I won't be on here much longer myself. I am coming back from Akron U, but just had the radio on and heard you. I wanted to say hi. How have you been?
David, I've been good, man. I've been good. And, yeah, we did the, the last net were we in last month? You know, there were 5. You did the last one, and you're doing the first one, too, because you get that glorious fifth net of the month. We should actually get somebody to just pick up the 5th nets of the month on Saturday, so that way neither one of us has to do that. We're just down to 2 then. Maybe we can find someone who wants to fill in any 5th. Because we do that on Tuesdays, if you remember. There's a person that just runs the 5th Tuesday of every month, if there is one. But, yeah, good, man. So your classes go till when in Akron? What time? About this time you're driving home?
W8VPV repeater.
Yeah, with the fifth Saturday, it's nice because I have majority vote. No, I think it would be awesome to do something like what you said with the Tuesday night net, where we have somebody sit in. Because really, Saturdays are kind of pretty laid back compared to the weekdays, so it's a great training ground for sure. And that's kind of why I started, I guess. But classes are going well. My class did not end a little while back, but we have a video club meeting every Monday evening. So it's been a little while since I've been able to make it, just because I've been super busy with work and school. But I had to make it to this one. So they're actually, I think, getting dinner tonight. I wasn't able to stick around for that, just due to my my school workload, but it's nice to go to the actual meetings when I'm able to. So, yeah, but just coming back from that now.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, last net that I did on the fourth Saturday, I talked to your uncle. And I told him, I said,
110.9.
I said, oh, so I heard you guys put in a radio station where you work, where you and Javen and everyone works. I said, well, you're going to need someone to take care of that radio station, like to dust it and to make sure that it always turns on in emergencies. I said, and I'm your man. He laughed. I said, I would be glad to come down there and spin the dials just to make sure that everything's working on a regular basis. Day or night, I told him. Just give me the keys and I'll be there at night. But he got a chuckle out of that one. But that's kind of cool that you guys have that set up there.
Yeah, that's fun. Not really the one contest. I'm catching up on some work, and I thought I'm the make contact. So, yeah, for sure. But with regards to the nets, it's been great. I like having kind of doing every other Saturday. So thanks for picking those up. It's a great thing we've got going on there, I think, and lets me still do it, but have some of the weekends back at least to catch up on some of my sleep. So. But anyways, I don't have too much longer on here, but I just wanted to pop out and say hello. You're on, and I'll try to check on one of your Saturday nets. But again, like I said, those are my days to sleep in.
Trust me, I totally understand, my friend. Totally understand. A little bit of picket fencing, but I understood what you were saying. So very cool. Hey, listen, drive safely, keep your eye on the road, and don't get in trouble, my friend. All right, so you got the first one coming up this Saturday, and then I've got the next one. So cool, man. 73, and I will talk to you sometime soon. November 8 Whiskey Bravo, clear with W8UA.
Yeah, have a good one, Stephen. Thanks for coming back here. NAWV, this is W8UA Mobile. I'll be clear.
Oh, yeah, real quick, and you don't have to come back on it, just to let you know. So I ran the West Park Radio Ops Net. I run that every Monday on the Northern Ohio DX Association repeater. I've been doing that since I've been a member of the West Park Radio Ops Club as well. That was the first club I ever joined. But I just got done with it. And Chris checked in. He always checks in periodically, ACP, automatic cold pistol. So it's always good to hear him. Being the first person, one of the first people that took their test during the COVID test that I took over from Barry. So, anyways, you don't need to respond, but I just want to let you know I did hear from Chris. He's doing good, and you're gonna love this. He did that big contest this weekend, and he made over 250,000 points in the score, something like 262,000 points on 100 watts on a wire, and he's got a new QTH. He told me. He told us all in the net. So that's a great score. And I forgot what the contest was, but it was this weekend. So he did really well on that. He said if he's looking at the numbers right, it's probably going to be in the top 30 of the contest, the top 30. Not bad. Not bad for 100 watts on a wire. Very cool. Anyways, drive safely, my friend, and I'll be clear with you November 8 Whiskey Bravo.
Yeah, very good, Stephen. Well, I've actually been kind of texting with him, and he told me about the contest there, so yeah, that is super cool. And it's been a little while since I've done much contesting, but I certainly enjoy it when I can. So anyways, yep, I'm just about going to reach home here, so I will let you go. You have a good evening. This is W8UA.
Be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave your between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, to enhance net operating practices, and to keep us updated about club happenings. This net meets every Monday evening
at 9:30 p.m. local time, preceded by the VHF-UHF net at 8:30 and Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. The frequency for this band exploration net is on the calendar, and it changes with every Monday. So next week we will be on 10 meters, 28.360 megahertz. When checking in, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. Also, let me know if you have any comments or traffic for the net, or if you are checking in and out. I will start with announcements and then call for officers or members who have items of special interest. When all have checked in, I will repeat the announcements. After that, I will give one last call for check-ins and then close the net. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be on Wednesday of next week. That's April 10th at 7:30 p.m. It will be both in person and on Zoom. In person, it is at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls. 130 Broad Boulevard is the address, but you get to the entrance from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street south of Broad Boulevard. For that, we have a pretty important couple of things to vote on, and so we need to have a quorum. We will be voting on changes to the Constitution and bylaws, and also we will be voting on amending a motion for an antenna for the repeater. The initial motion was had a specific brand and model number, and we need to generalize that so that we can choose the best antenna to suit our purpose. Now, there was an announcement during the VHF-UHF net from Vince AC8XO mentioning that there's still a little bit of time to get articles into him for the April newsletter. So do that right away. It's past the end of the previous month, but he has a little bit of time, so send those in right away if you want to get your article in for this month's newsletter. That's all that I have in the way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John at the mic. My call sign's W8VPV. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Are there any members or officers who have items of special interest to the club? Okay, nothing heard. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins.
W8VPV. Hey, John, KHMS. W8RCN.
Okay, let's see. I got Mike WB8CXO. I got Frank W8EZT. Let's see, and go ahead. The next one that was after Frank. There was somebody before you, Steve. Go ahead. There was somebody before Steve. Go ahead. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, so let's see. Let's go with WB8CXO. Go ahead with your comments. Okay, Mike, very good. Yeah, so I think the newsletter has the changes, the proposed changes that we'll be voting on. So take a look there. Okay, thanks, Mike, for checking in. 73, have a good evening, and hope to hear you some other time there. So that takes us to Frank, W8ECT. Go ahead, Frank, with your comments.
Well, good evening, John, and everybody out there. I believe the person following Steve was W8RCN. At least he came booming through here. Whoops, I'm listening to Mike on the wrong frequency. Yeah, Mike, if you want, I'll be hanging in here. I can run up to 220 later on. If you want to talk a little bit, I don't have any great details on there, but the Constitution and bylaw changes were published in the newsletter last month. Don't have a whole lot to add. Looking forward to summer. We've already had 3 springs, maybe 4 coming up, and somebody just made a comment about tomorrow's winter, so I got to go look at the weather and see what's going to go on. I know we're supposed to get some rain. I don't think we're supposed to have snow, but this is Ohio, so that doesn't mean anything. We could. Otherwise, don't have anything of interest at all, so I will pass it back to you, John. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it. W8ECT, back to net.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Hey, about moving the stuff out of the storage barn there, I don't think we'll be able to put a vehicle there. We'll have to carry the stuff over.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the case. I used a dolly to move all the stuff out of my truck to my trailer today. I'm going to use a truck to move things around as much as I can and not move my trailer that much. And if we have to, we'll pull it up out of the storage barn. I mean, we've got the facility, and I'm not going to look to give horse in the mouth, but you're right, when we get rain like this, especially I think we're supposed to get hammered tomorrow with a lot of rain, the ground is going to be totally swampy. We can wait till as late as Monday or Tuesday next week, but by probably Tuesday we should have everything located in my trailer, so it's just a quick drive to get it up to the club website, or to the Hamfest site. So we'll see what happens. And I'm catching up on some old email now. There was email from our president, Greg, that you may want to look at, and I'm just responded about some repeater information and using a repeater antenna as another receive antenna. I'm in an area that I don't know a lot about here. Was hoping to bend Mike's ear maybe and see what he knows about repeater and cavities and combiners and things like that. But we'll see how that goes then. All right, John, we'll hand it back to you. W8ECT, back to net.
Okay, Frank, very good. So thanks for checking in, and we'll see you soon there. Okay, so let's see. So that takes us to Steve K at HMS, and we'll get to Jim after Steve then. Go ahead, Steve K at HMS.
Yeah, hi, John, everybody. Thanks for running both nets. But for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, no big changes from the other net. Just
glad to be here to check in. And, I gotta kind of figure out what I can do for the handsets coming up. So, hopefully I can get down there to help out with some stuff, but, just checking now, so. Anyway, other than that, and what else? The meeting coming up where we're voting on stuff. Hopefully I'll be there for that, probably by Zoom. But anyway, thanks again for both nets. Glad to hear people on 6 meters. W8VPV, KHMS.
Okay, Steve, very good. I have a good copy on you. That's whatever you're using there is working good for over this way. So 7-3, have a good evening. Okay, so next is WA8RCN. Go ahead, Jim, with your comments.
Okay, hi John and the group W8VPV, W8RCN. Yeah, that was me after Steve, so there's probably other guys in there waiting to get in, so I won't keep it too long. Just thought I'd jump in, give you another number here for the sheet, and get on 6 meters here. So that's about it, John. Let me throw it back to you, and you can pick up some more guys. W8VPV, W8RCN.
Okay, Jim, very good. Usually this band exploration that we don't get a whole lot of check-ins, so thanks for checking in. 73, have a good evening. Okay, so this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
KA8WTK.
Okay, I got Bill, KA8WTK, and I got Keith, KE8TQR. Let's see, is there anybody else in there right now? K8PU. Okay, Larry, we'll get back with you in a couple of minutes here. So, KA8WTK, Bill, did you say you were in and out?
Nope, I'm in tonight, John.
Oh, okay, well, go ahead with your comments.
Okay, W8VPV, KA8WTK is still in Talmadge. Not much going on radio-wise here. What I've been into lately, I've been rebuilding and refinishing a clerestory window, which is the window that was in the top of on the sides of the roof of a passenger car back in the last century, that they would open up to let out smoke and heat from the inside of the car, because they used oil lamps back at the turn of the not this last century, but the one before. This window happens to be out of a coach that was built in 1892 for the Waynesburg and Washington Narrow Gauge Railroad in Pennsylvania. And they were, to raise funds for the rebuilding of the rest of the coach, they were selling the old clerestory windows. So this is kind of warped and everything, the wood, but couple pieces of the glass are still intact, so it's been a labor of love to try and get it refinished to where it looks halfway decent. So just finished it up tonight, and it doesn't look brand new, but it shouldn't. It's 132 years old, so that's what I've been up to. Back to net, W8VPV, KA8WTK.
What are you going to do with that window, Bill, when you're done working on it?
We had in the living room a big through-the-wall air conditioner that was defunct years ago, and in the redoing of the floor and carpeting and everything, we decided that when they had the carpet out, they decided that was an ideal time to get that thing out of there. And it was 24 inches wide, 18 inches tall, had to weigh 150, 175 pounds. It was built into the wall. We got it out of there and out of the way. I built a new window to go in there that fit that opening, and double pane glass. And then I'm going to hang this window, this clerestory window, in that window because that faces south, and the sunlight will shine through the amber glass window panes that are in the window.
Oh, okay, Bill. Well, that sounds really nice there. Yeah, when we were boys, myself, KA3 KSP and KB3 VSP, us three boys were in the upper bedroom there on Thomas Street there in Crafton, Pennsylvania, and we had a window air conditioner that sounds like about the size of the one that you had through the wall, but this went in the window, but yeah, it was really heavy. We would take it out in the wintertime and store it in on the floor in one of the closets, but it took two of us boys to take that thing out safely and to put it away. So it worked well, but it was big and heavy. So it sounds like a good story about that window there, Bill. So 73, have a good evening and enjoy that window there. Okay, so that takes us to Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith, with your comments.
Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, this is KE8TQR. I'm not going to spend too much time on here because the lightning is coming 10 miles in my communication. I'm going to start shutting this thing down and disconnecting it all. So just wanted to add one to the numbers. Wishing everyone a great evening, great rest of the week. And a fine job here on this net as well, John. So I will send it back to Tech Control. This is KE8TQR, say W3, and God bless.
Okay, Keith, very good. Yeah, I'm hearing some little static crashes in the background here. So, yeah, as soon as this net's done, I'll be disconnecting all that stuff too. So, 73, have a good evening, and I'll probably hear you on some of the other nets there this week. Okay, so that takes us to Larry, K8PU. Go ahead, Larry, with your comments.
Evening, John, everybody on the net. Oh, nothing new and exciting yet. Not even 80 over here. Oakwood guys, that's trouble for what we got. Yeah, I guess the big thing tomorrow, we're going to get some rain and probably a lot of high winds. That's probably what we got to watch out for. The southern part of the state's probably going to be looking at some, below Canton tornado warnings and things possibly what they're saying, but I'm officially looking at that. But probably some high winds, and so of course that's always concerns us when it comes to our antennas. Mine's been up there, especially at Tri-Bander, for about 50 years at Big Mosley, and I don't know how it stood it, but you know, it's a tough old dude, I'll say that. Anybody wants a good antenna, get one of those things, it'll stay there forever. Okay, John, catch everybody next week, and next week will be a big week with meeting, Hamfest, everything going on, so we'll see each other, almost be seeing each other quite a bit, I guess. So back to you, John, W8VPV, KTU.
Yeah, that'll be next week, Larry, Wednesday. Okay, yeah, I have a Mosley CL33M that's been up there since 2010. Now I'm planning to change that and put in a new mast that's a little bit longer, but I'm going to put up a Cushcraft X7, which I'm hoping has more gain on 10 meters for a net that I check into weekly in southwestern Pennsylvania. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. It supposedly has more gain than the Mosley CL33M on 10 meters. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. So thanks for checking in, Larry, and have a good evening. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of the list. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W03X at the mic asking for check-in. Please call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-in. Okay, not hearing any. I'll repeat the announcements. So, April 10th is our business meeting, and we need to have a quorum so that we can vote successfully on a couple of items. The first item is the Constitution and bylaws changes, which are going to change how decisions are made in the club for purchases and so forth. Things like mostly the purchases, and then the other item is the motion that was made regarding the VHF repeater antenna. We were too specific on the in the motion as to the brand and model, whereas since that time we have found better brands and models for that repeater antenna. So we need to revise the motion. Let's see. So that's, again, that's Wednesday, April 10th. That's Wednesday of next week. In person, it's at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls. The address is 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the door from the parking lot, which is on 2nd Street, just south of Broad Boulevard. And so, again, that's the in-person part. And you can also attend on Zoom, and you can vote on Zoom there also. So you can vote by attending on Zoom, and the link for that will be on the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club calendar, www.cfarc.org. Okay, then April 12th, that's the Friday after the meeting, we are going to be setting up the Amedio Party Center for the Hamfest. So there'll be tables and chairs to set up, and then there'll be tags to put on the tables to identify which vendor goes where, and then the vendors will be coming in, and we will help guide them to their assigned table. And we also need somebody to help with setting up the directions road signs there Friday evening. That's April 12th, Friday, April 12th, for the setup of the Hamfest. Then starting 6 a.m. Saturday morning, April 13th, we need people to guide the vendors to their tables. That's between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. And then starting at 8 a.m., there is the surge of selling tickets. So we need help with that. help with selling the tickets. Now, you can go to the sign-up sheet, volunteer sign-up sheet. Go to www.cfarc.org, click on the word Hamfest, and that opens up the form. You put your contact information, and then continue along on the forms to mention on there when you would be available and what you would be able to do. So take a look at that, and we can we'll be able to see who all signed up. Each volunteer will get a tag before the Hamfest. Pass them out on Friday, or if you're only going to be there Saturday, we'll give that to you early Saturday to identify you. Take a look at that form and see what you can help out with. Let's see, so I think that's all that I have in the way of announcements. So with that, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Okay, not hearing any further check-ins. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. As mentioned earlier, this band exploration net meets every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Next week, the frequency will be on 10 meters, 28.360 megahertz upper sideband. Please feel free to check in regularly, even if only for a moment. All comments are welcomed and valuable to us. This has been John and my calls W8VPV, and it has been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net and return the frequency to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 10 o'clock p.m. local time with 8 check-ins counting myself. 7-3.
W8WKY. W8VPV. Repeater. W8WKY. W8VPV. Repeater. W8WKY. W8VPV. Repeater. Monday, April 1. W8WKY repeater PL114.8. Welcome to the K8ZFR repeater. Good evening. W8VPV. Repeater. This is the K8ZFR. Repeater. The time is 10:56 p.m. The time is 11 p.m. W8WKY. W8VPV. Repeater PL110.9.